Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. Assalamu alaikum, students. Welcome, Pakistan International School Thai Virtual Learning System. This lecture is for grade first year boys and girls, Pakistan culture. And you know that we have started chapter 4, Pakistan culture. Today we will continue this chapter, chapter 4, Pakistan culture. Pakistan Culture, Chapter 4, Ideological Moorings, Islam, the Holy Quran, and the Prophet, Oneness of Allah, Tawheed, Prophethood, Risalat, Kingdom, Knowledge, Ilm, Deeds, Amal, the Hereafter, Akhirat, Social Pattern, Tribal, Feudal, Rural, and Urban. We have done this topic. Today we will discuss the last topic of this chapter, Education. First of all, a little review of the previous lecture, social pattern. We discussed in detail this topic, social pattern, tribal, feudal, rural, and urban social pattern of Pakistani culture. I told you the Pakistani society is in its regional and provincial setting present a different color, a different picture, while one finds the tribal system with all its old traditions and customs and values, where in the frontier and Balochistan, the countryside of Punjab, Sindh, and Kashmir present the cultural scene of ancient rural and agrarian societies. The town, the cities still bear the rhythm and harmony the of the Middle Age and modern life, which grew up with the coming of the Muslims and developed through the British rule. Then I told you the cities too have different faces, the modern or the developed industrial cities all the time busy in the activities, busy with life, while the non-industrial town continue to the calm and quiet and the varied landscape, the lofty mountain of vast stretches of plains, rivers, green valleys, forests, deserts produce the very form Pakistan society. Then we discuss the four provinces. You know, Pakistan has four provinces: Balochistan, North Frontier. I told you Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Punjab, and Sindh. Here we will discuss, I explain all the four provinces, the customs, the traditions of these provinces. Balochistan, the most common thing which we discuss, that the most common sight that one comes across in the countryside is that of the shepherd grazing their sheep, goat, camel in summer and moving down during the winter with their animals and small tents toward Sibi. Then we discuss the dresses of the women. Here, women folk attired in the long sleeve flowing dresses with colorful needlework, and what it is called? It is called pashk. North Frontier Province, we discuss here a very strong tribal system, and the one meets the tall, sturdy Pathan, still living under a full-fledged tribal system with a tribal code and what it is called Pakhtunkhwali. And also we discuss its three main characteristics. Number one, Badal, revenge. Number two, Malmastia, and number three, Nanavati. And then we discuss also the Pakhtunkhwali is based on a number of institutions. Number one, Jirga. Number two, Riwaj. Number three, Lashkar. And number four, Hodja. Then Punjab, we discuss in detail the largest province in respect of population, has a world of its own. Then we discuss also it is famous for not the tribal system. It is replaced by a system of brotherhood known as Biradri. And here Lahore, its capital with its educational complexes, beautiful places, gardens, old historical buildings with vaults, domes, minarets, and trade and commercial center. And it is the heart of Pakistan. It can be asked in MCQs. Then we discuss the Sindh, the Indus, where the Indus and its offshoot run through the whole stretches of the region, and also it is called the land of saints and fakirs. Geographical importance of Pakistan also we have discussed in the previous chapter. Pakistan's geographical importance. The neighboring countries of Pakistan, Bharat, China, Iran, and Afghanistan, and especially we discussed the both on both the flanks the passes across hills, especially the Khyber and Bolan Pass. Then we discussed the vast and huge mountain ranges, the Himalayas and Karakoram. Then we discuss the early civilization or old civilization, Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. And then we discuss the Islamic spirit, how Islam made an enduring impact in the region when it made its contact with Sindh and Balochistan early in the 8th century, and with the northern areas and the Punjab 2 centuries later. Motivation and inspiration, the Islamic principles and precepts of equality, brotherhood, justice, social justice, tolerance, patience completely transformed the social environment and brought about unity and cohesion among the believers, that is, people of faith. Then we discussed the before the arrival of Muslim, before the advent of Islam, before the arrival of the Muslims, the Hindu religion as introduced the Aryans, and they have divided themselves in the different caste system. And the number one or the that caste, the high caste is called Brahman, and the lower caste is called Shudras. Cultural greatness of the Islamic religion. Islam was different from all the earlier system, which lost their identities and were either reabsorbed into the Hindu fold or were liquidated, having its own well-defined principles of human values. I told you the human values or the principles or the quality of the significance of our religion, Islam, that is love and peace, of equality, brotherhood, justice, tolerance, patience, which were basically antithetical to the rigid caste system of the Hindus. Cultural growth, we discuss the cultural growth of the Muslims of the subcontinent reveals many interesting features. We discuss in detail also Islamic norms and values. Islamic, the various aspects of the cultural life of the people of Pakistan, their social ways, their ceremonies from birth to death, marriage traditions, fairs, festivals, and one finds a basic unity of Islamic values and norms existing in all the areas of Pakistan, and all these shows the Islamic touch, Islamic color, and it reflects our religion. These festivals, these fairs, these customs, these ceremonies, it shows the reflects of our religion. Today our topic is education. We will discuss the last topic of this chapter is education. Education. What is education? Education means knowledge, values, skills, critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity. Education, in its general sense, is a form of learning in which the knowledge, skills, and habits of a group of people are transferred from one generation to the next through teaching, training, or research. And also, Nelson Mandela defined education is the most powerful weapon we can use to change the world. This is the simple definition of education. Also, the importance of knowledge in Islam. The first word revealed of the Quran was Ikra, meaning read, seek knowledge, educate yourself, be educated. And also in Hadith, a father can give his son nothing better than a good education. Now, from your book, I told you the simple meaning of education, and this topic is in my book, page number 82, education. Islam has laid great emphasis on acquiring knowledge. The Muslim, therefore, devoted great attention to learning, both worldly and spiritual, drawing from all sources and disseminating spread widely it all around the world. Islam also, I told you, the first word that is revealed, Ikra, and emphasis on acquiring knowledge. And the Muslim, therefore, they also devoted their attention to learning, both spiritual, all over the world. In the subcontinent, they made notable contributions in promoting education in subcontinent. Now we will discuss in subcontinent creation of Pakistan in subcontinent. They made notable participation, contribution for the development of education, in promoting education, learning, greatly enriched the socio-cultural intellectual scene. However, during the period of decay, this tradition suffered a setback. The British, in order to strengthen after the British rule in India. You know the now history when in 1857, after the War of Independence, in 1857, when British took control from the Muslim, what was the condition in education? What happened in the education? The British, in order to strengthen their hold and ensure durability to their rule, introduced their own educational system with English as a medium of instruction. So first step which was taken from the British after the rule in India, that they introduced their own system, English medium. They introduced, and also we have discussed in the previous topic when we were discussing the War of Independence, and after the situation of War of Independence, that British destroyed all the cultural and social um, things of the they destroyed the Muslim institutions, their cultural, their social institutions they destroyed. And now what they start, they after this they also introduced their own education system based on English. And in the world of Macaulay, and he what he said, to create a class of persons Indian in blood and color, but English in taste, in opinion, in morals and intellect. Also he had also pinned his hopes to convert the people to Christianity through the British system of education. So this was the first what we will say, the attack on Muslims education, and that they wanted. And this man Macaulay came to India with new educational idea. And what was his idea? To create a class of person. And what class of person? Blood, Indian in blood and color, but English in taste, in opinion, in morals, and also pin his hope to convert the people, their religion, to Christianity through the British system of education. Though these hopes could not be realized, the creative abilities of the Muslims, who had made notable and admirable contribution, participation to the world civilization, with the withered away while their traditional system of education was destroyed. Who destroyed? British. They destroyed their educational system. They could ill adjust themselves to a new system because they were not aware the language, English language. The Muslims on that time, they were not aware this new system and the English language, and they could adjust in this system. Such of their maktabs and madrasas, a Muslim school, you can say a Muslim school, college, university for Islamic instruction and education, which had managed to survive, remain exclusively devoted to religious education and looked upon Western education to profane and inconsistent with their norms and values and traditions and customs, which could result in the loss of their cultural identity. This time, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan came forward. Also, we have discussed in detail the services of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan in the previous topic, in the previous chapter. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan conciliatory efforts taken collectively are known, I told you, as Aligarh movement. A large section of the Indian Muslim community appreciated his efforts and stood by his side, but still larger part did not see eye to vie with him and oppose him bitterly, because to them Sir Sayyid policy would hurt the national religious pride of the Muslims. Notwithstanding the sincerity of purpose, Sir Sayyid Ahmad Khan may have the opponents believe following his policy would mean eternal slavery for the Muslims of India. And Sir Sayyid wanted, what kind of Sir Sayyid advised the Muslims and to adopt. Also, Sir Sayyid advised the Muslims to pay his attention, acquire modern education, try to secure maximum. Sir Sayyid advised the Muslims to pay attention to the modern knowledge, modern education, acquire modern education. And Sir Syed Ahmad Khan took the different steps, the major steps for the achievement for this objective. And in the 19th century, half of the 19th century, efforts were made to create a synthesis of the two systems. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan worked out an educational plan based on the study of modern arts and science with the religious learning. Also, Sir Syed introduced a plan study of modern arts and science, which is based or with the religious knowledge, incorporating what was considered to be expedient within the framework of the British educational system. What kind of services in education? First of all, Sir Syed is number one, established a school where at Aligarh, and while soon it became college and subsequently grew into a well-known Muslim University of Aligarh. Then though a section of the Muslim under the influence of ulema was opposed to Sir Syed educational plan, I told you, and remained wedded to the traditional education, a good majority representing the middle classes responded favorably to Sir Syed's programs. And these institutions, along with the primary center for education and training for Muslims, significantly the graduate of these institutions formed the core of the leadership in the struggle of the creation of the Muslims, a Muslim homeland. All these things we have discussed in the previous topic, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Yet the very system which produced well-educated leader provided only minimum training for those who were needed to build the country, the engineers, the doctors, scientists, businessmen, and technicians. Tradition and Western education system. Pakistan inherited, both traditional, like we can see, religious, and the Western, like modern educational system, each making its own contribution in a well-defined sphere. The one is in the religious and the other, the modern studies. The imbalance arising out this dichotomy mean the division. This division, like the education system, is divided two parts: traditional system based on religion, and the Western educational system which brought British in our country. And this division had long been realized, and the process of integration of the two system as far as practicable is now under process. The traditional education, now we will discuss in detail. The traditional education system is imparted through an extensive network of maktab and madrasas attached to mosques or religious endowment, both in the town and villages, mostly run on private traditional education system, maktabs and madrasa. For the, I told you, maktab and madrasa, we can say a Muslim school, college, universities for Islamic institution and education, and they were mostly attached on that time to mosque or religious endowment, both in the town and village. Mostly run on private initiative, these institutions are devoted to the study of Holy Quran and theology, making a substantial contribution to the rate of literacy. According to 1981 census, 38% of Muslims, including a number of illiterate adults, can read the Holy Quran, when the literacy rate is only that was barely 26%. The more advanced of these institutions, known as Darul Uloom, impart higher education for which purpose in tafsir, commentary of the Holy Quran, hadith, traditions of the Prophet, fiqh, jurisprudence, mantiq, logic, and philosophy besides language. Arabic, Persian, and Urdu, these are the three languages. Those graduating from these institutions became what they became, alim or fazil, and depending on the fields of their specialization. Their diplomas and degree, in Urdu it is called asnad, have now been given equal with the corresponding university's degree. The pattern of formal education The pattern of formal education is largely based in the system introduced by the British, both in its structure and content, with provision for religious instruction, and under the system or a student progress for in four stages to reach the university level. First stage, primary, 5 years. Second stage, the middle or lower secondary, 3 years. The secondary, 2 years, and the higher secondary, 2 years. And this formal education is introduced by British in the subcontinent in its structure and content that is divided in four stages or four parts. First we call the primary, second the middle, the third secondary, and the last the higher secondary, which is for 2 years. Now, after the establishment of Pakistan, reorientate and restructure the educational system. After the creation of Pakistan, continuous efforts have been made for restructure or reorientate the educational system. I told you that is in our country two types of educational system, traditional and western education system. And now the again after the creation of Pakistan, so as to bring it the harmony with the ideological and material requirement of the nation, reduce the rate of literacy and make education relevant to socio-economic development and scientific and technological advancement of the country. Of course, after the creation of Pakistan, the ideological, you know what is the ideological base of our country? Islam. So this system is based on Islamic teaching, based on Islam, based on Quran and Sunnah, and several commission on education have established different commissions. They were established for this purpose, and a perspective plan 1965 to 85 was formulated in 1965. Underline this. Followed by education policy 1972 to 80 and the new education policy 1978, also underlined, for achieving the above objectives. What kind of objectives? With the education system to bring harmony with the ideological and material requirement of the nation. The implementation of some of their recommendation has contributed to considerable improvement in educational scene, but a great deal yet remains to be done. Major objectives of the educational planners. Of great importance among the major objectives, major plan, major purpose of the educational planners had been the early eradication of illiteracy. You know that illiteracy still in our country, the ratio of illiteracy is very high. So what is the main purpose, the major objective, the major thing which has to be done for the educational planners? Early eradication of illiteracy, but the ambitious plan for universal elementary education is under process since 1965 have not gone far enough due to heavy financial charge. Same, the massive adult educational program could make little headway on account of continued pressure on available resources. Okay, what was the reason why they couldn't achieve their objectives? Because of the heavy financial charge. Medium of instruction. One of the steps towards integrated education of the with the socio-cultural milieu and detaching it from the British legacy was the gradual substitution of the medium of instruction. I told you our education system is totally inspired by the British, and also we face this problem, the medium of instruction from English to mother tongue at the lower level and to the national language Urdu at the higher stages, where facilities in the mother tongue from English to mother tongue, and where facilities in mother tongue were not available like Balochi and Punjabi, Urdu came as a handy substitute for the mother tongue. And a large number of institutions have switched over either wholly or partly to Urdu medium and to Sindhi medium in Sindh. English has, however, been retained both as an optional and compulsory language at appropriate level so as to maintain continuity in the educational process as well as to ensure continued availability of Western advancement in science, technology, and other fields. Medium of instruction after the creation of Pakistan, the most important step was taken to the medium of instruction from English to the mother tongue, and where the mother tongue were not available like Balochi and Punjabi, Urdu came there, and also the English is in schools. And why being retained? English has, however, been retained both as an optional and compulsory language to at appropriate level to maintain continuity of the educational process. Standard of education standard of education Standard of education are generally relative to the modes of instruction and examination. First, under the public examination system, the student mostly prepared themselves for the final test held at the end of the year. Mostly, this system is in Pakistan examination system, end of the year or the final test held at the end of the year, which led to emphasis on successful retention of some facts for a short period rather than uh, on mastering the subject and understanding its basic principles so as to be able to apply this understanding to real situation. Why this system is introduced, examination system, then it was analyzed or it was judged the basic principles so that to be applied that this understanding to the real situation, and how much the students they have acquired, they have understand, to check their understanding level, and final test held at the end of the year, and which led to the emphasis on successful retention of some facts. This other system that is called the semester system, that is divided and gave credit for the work during the year through the process of continuous assessment and objective type examination. Semester system, first we discuss the examination system, and examinations are held final at the final or the end of the year, and which was analyzed or where it is judged the understanding level of the student. Semester system, it is divided and gave the credit for the work during the year through the process of continuous assessment or assignments and objective type of examination and test. Therefore, a change over from the public examination system to the semester system was decided upon in the early 70s. The new system was to be introduced on an experimental basis under a phased program, and the universities where the number of students was comparatively small. This is the new type of system where the students' strength that was comparatively small and were selected for the first phase. The experiment has generally produced satisfactory result though lack of ideal condition like adequate equipment, reading material, proper teacher student ratio still leave much to be desired, however, pending the extension of the scheme to be remaining colleges and schools. Some features of the semester system, like half yearly term grading in the examination, have been introduced to bring about a semblance of uniformity of all level. It's enough for today, students. Today we discuss education, the meaning of education, the concept of education. Islam, very important, has led great emphasis. Islam has led great emphasis on acquiring knowledge. Then we discuss the Muslims, the part or the role in education, devoted great attention to learning, both worldly and spiritual. Then we discuss the subcontinent. Also, the Muslims, they made notable contribution in promoting education, but after the 1857, the British took control and they introduced their own educational system, which is based on English, and they destroyed the Muslim culture, the Muslim education system, the Muslim tradition and system. Then we discussed the role of the Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, how they um, uh, offered his services for the education and for the development of Muslims of India. Then we discussed the traditional and Western education system. I explained that a traditional education system is based and an extensive network of maktab and madrasa. And also I explained formal education that is introduced by the British. And after the establishment of Pakistan, efforts have been made to reorientate and restructures to the educational system, and which is based or which has to bring its harmony with our ideological, I told you, ideological, our religion based, Islam based and material requirement. Then we discuss the objectives of the educational planners, that is main objective to eradication of illiteracy. And the last which we discussed, that the instruction, medium of instruction from English to mother tongue. And if the mother tongue is not mother tongues not where the facilities in mother tongue were not available, there Urdu came as its as a handy substitute of the mother tongue. And last we discussed the standard of education, two system, examination system which was held end of the year, and semester system is the divided syllabus is divided and gave credit for working during the year through the process of continuous assessment and objectives and test type of examination. Hope you understand today's lecture. Revise this topic, it's important topic, and learn it at home. Thank you, student. The remaining topic of education we will discuss in the next lecture. It's enough for today. Have a nice day. Thank you.